Welcome to Ninerology, Faithful in the Trenches. I'm your host, Alan, and we are here to talk about Brandon Aiyuk. That's right, the Brandon Aiyuk, and it is 6 days away until the NFL draft. And question is Brandon Aiyuk going to get traded or not? Let's just say he is phenomenal when it comes to off-season maneuvering and ensuring that he is in the spotlight, whether it's on ESPN, Fox Sports, on NFL Network. He's in the midst of the conversation. So I think he is a great salesman. He knows exactly what buttons to push. And let's be fair, he had a great playbook to go off of, which was Deebo Samuel, and then sprinkle in some of the things on his own end. And we already know how active Brandon Aiyuk is on social media, especially those live videos. And so more recently this week, we saw that he mentioned that in 6 days there's going to be fireworks when he was talking with Jaden Daniels. Now, that can be taken several different ways. Jaden Daniels is going to be drafted as a quarterback. Brandon Aiyuk could be referencing a trade. Who knows? All that matters to him is he's in the spotlight and people are talking about him again. Now, my assumption is there has not been an official trade request, which we've heard that. There has not been a trade request. That does not mean the 49ers are not fielding phone calls, though. John Lynch has been very clear that he's always going to do what's in the best interest of the football team. Now, if you look, the last time the 49ers were in this specific situation with a player with an all-pro talent that got traded away was DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner was in a contract year. There was some negotiations going on. That wasn't going where they wanted to, so he ended up getting traded away for a first-round pick. Now we're seeing the same thing happen again. But when you look at the market, you look at players like Stephon Diggs and other wide receivers that have been traded in the offseason, not one has been traded for a first-round pick. You either have a second in addition to a mid to late round pick. You have some other mid to later round picks for other wide receivers. And so if you begin to look at what the 49ers have asked for in the past, I don't think that they're going to get what they're looking for. For Brandon Aiyuk, for the 49ers to separate from Brandon Aiyuk, I believe it's going to take at least a first rounder and a mid to late round pick to be able to separate and sever those ties. Why? Because they're potentially going to have to draft his replacement, and they're going to have to go ahead and build around that as well. Maybe additional offensive line help, which they absolutely need, or potential to package that late round pick for a wide receiver on another team that's on a team-friendly deal. And so there's a lot of things moving around, and ultimately I don't see Brandon Aiyuk anywhere because I don't think Kyle Shanahan wants him gone. In fact, he likes the offense he has right now in this very moment. So much so, he brought back the entire starting offensive line, knowing full well that he needed to upgrade the right-hand side. And so my guess is Brandon Aiyuk will be back with the 49ers with a contract of about $26 million per year with $60+ million fully guaranteed. So we'll see. 6 days will be here before we know it for the NFL draft. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more rumors. But Brandon Aiyuk, I don't believe is going anywhere unless a team such as the Steelers, Raiders, Chiefs, you might even have the Patriots kind of sneak in conversations there. Unless one of them decides to throw a first in addition to a mid to late round pick, Brandon Aiyuk is not going anywhere. And right now the market isn't set for that. But that, I believe, is what the 49ers are going to be minimally be asking for a player of Brandon Aiyuk's caliber. First off, we saw the numbers. He was first in the league by far for yards per reception at 17.9. And that's with much fewer targets than all of the leading wide receivers that had 150 and over when Brandon Aiyuk barely eclipsed 100. And so if you multiply that throughout the year, you're talking about somebody who has the potential of breaking the wide receiver receiving record if he averaged at 17.9 and got the same amount of targets that every other starting number one receiver received. And so let's keep our eyes open. 6 days left. I don't think Brandon Aiyuk's going anywhere, but guess what? It sure does make for good social media and conversations. Well, that's all we have for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.